Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But I'll come back to you. Break stride, I'm sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
You know, I don't really want to do like the actual like intro whatever today. I don't feel like it. I don't know why. I just don't. I mean, obviously you are listening. We're going to be a little bit divergent today. This is going to be a stinky one. I guess. I don't know. I feel like being a stinker today. I mean, the Pope is dead. Let's be honest. The Pope is dead. Or Pope Francis is dead. I mean, that means absolutely nothing to me. But it is meaningful to some in the Christian faith. Because, yeah, whatever. It's just funny that J.D. Vance just so happened to be one of the last people that met him. And he basically met him twice, and the second time he said basically fuck you. Yikes. Essentially, when the Pope says you stinky, yeah. Anyways, you are listening, watching, or whatever, Midnight Ramen, the Livecast. If you want to go to twitch.tv/MeltLikeOriginal, you can watch this happen live at midnight on typically Thursdays or Wednesdays or whatever. Go if you're starting out on a Wednesday, ending on a Thursday. That's when it happens. And well, if Central Time of the U.S., that's what I should say. And then, but if you miss it, I mean, obviously that's fine because it's always midnight somewhere, and plus, like, bruh. But it's up for 2 weeks on here. This is unedited for up to 2 weeks. You can watch the whole thing on here and the after show, which is a reason to watch it live, and the after show and watch it on Twitch is to watch it live, because once it's gone off of Twitch, it's gone. But it's every single episode on YouTube. Every single episode since 100's on Spotify. I have to double check to make sure that the last one's on there. I'm pretty sure it is. But, yeah. So there's that. And I also on Spotify have, when I used to do this as a radio show, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I might have said radio show instead of like live stream podcast. I don't know. I'm stupid. So, yeah, there's that. But every single one of those episodes comes out on the 5th anniversary of each airing of each episode. So usually, they happen like, Tuesday going into Wednesday, if I am remembering correctly. But because of how the releases, and I didn't really think about it until like recent, like, oh yeah, leap years are a thing. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, yeah, with 2020, it's like, oh yeah, there's that, and COVID. So yeah, that's gonna push out kind of in a hiatus, because like right now I should have probably already had a lot more episodes, but I don't. But that's solely because of that. And I would have if I would have actually done like this at home, I would not have good recordings like at all. Like it would be garbage. Even like right now, even like this is all right, but it's not even close to what it should be. Like I'm using a Shure SM7. What the frick? It's a Shure SM What's it called? It's not SM7B because like the 7B is the microphone that I was using in the studio. V7, I think. MV7. MV7. But yeah, the studio mic, obviously, when I was in the station, was an SM7B. This, I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have been able to do this anyway, because the mic that I had was like one of the shit ones. I felt that pop. I'm just gonna not do that again. Not tonight. Not tonight, sweetie. We've had Chef 3 times this week. But I love Chef. What if... Now, this is side tangent, whatever. But what if, like, the girl or whatever, the kid in that Chef Boyardee commercial from long ago, if you don't know what I'm talking about the one where she's like, oh, I love Chef, but then one of the cans starts rolling, basically from the grocery store. Honestly, a fair distance based on the, like, extended commercial, because it goes on, like, a freeway and all this other stuff just to get to her home. And it shows up there. It's like, oh. It's like, I feel like there's an extended version of that where I know they had like more scenes of like the can rolling, which is it's a fun wholehearted one. But I feel like after the can rolls like basically to her feet, and it's like, oh, what should we, like her mom's like, oh, what should we have for dinner? She's like, well, there's a can of Chef Boyardee. She'd be like, no, like just her like having a fit, be like, no, you've had Chef too many times this week. We cannot stop doing this. Where did you get this can? And she'd basically be like, oh yeah, you stole it. We got to go back to the grocery store. And then it just ends in like a cycle. Something like that. Or like she puts the can, or like they put the can back, but the can jumps off the shelves and starts rolling back to her house. That'd be just like a kind of like fucked up like Meat Canyon like cartoon or something like that, or like a sketch. I'd say a sketch. What am I saying? Cartoon. What was the term that nothing but lag came up with for Meat Canyon? It was like the king of what was it? Fuck, I can't remember. It was so stupid and hilarious. The king of creepypasta? No. Something along those lines, but it was funny. But speaking about like rough transition into actually what I want to talk about. I've been gassing it up in here. I probably shat my pants before the episode. Yeah, I don't know. I had McDonald's. I had 3 like McDoubles, and then obviously some fries and stuff. But I had 2 high C's. But me and my girlfriend did the thing. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we've mixed Malibu with the high C, and that shit is so amazing. But it is so dangerous. You gotta like watch yourself, because if you don't know what you're doing, you'll end up like plastered fast, because you don't taste the alcohol really much at all. And then by the time you get done with it, and it's gonna be very fast because it's like high C and shit like that, you're gonna be like, oh god, it's rough. It's really, really rough. But it would staying down. I pooped, but even after the poop, I've just been gassing. But it's gotten worse after that, because like all of my farts were just like rancid. Like just even before the episode, like I had one where it's like, ugh. Like if I was like staying in the exact same place that it was, and like actually let it out, it would have been ugh, just diabolical. Yeah, rancid farts. You know. I haven't had recently. I haven't had like situations or recently where I'm like, I gotta go. Although, I think it was last week, I think it was the day, either was the day or the day, no, it would have been Friday. I think it was the day. Was it the day? I don't know. When Katie, it was on Good Friday, I was like, I had breakfast, like work breakfast at the basically the cafeteria. I get back and I'm like, oh, I want to start working on stuff. But man, my gut hurts. It like sucked. And so I'm like, it got to the point where I'm like straight up drinking Pepto-Bismol because I have like a thing in my locker just so like in cases like this, and then it has happened before where it's like, oh, I'm getting bad indigestion, like incredible heartburn. It's like, just drink. And I'd done that for years, and honestly, it's not bad. But I was like still feeling it. So I go to the bathroom, and I swear, like, I spent more time on the can than Katy Perry and all the other women on that SpaceX expert, whatever. What? Yeah, it was SpaceX. No, it wasn't SpaceX. Whatever, the Amazon thing. I was on the can longer than they were in space. On God. Like, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm looking at my phone, which, I was. But it was active more than 11 minutes. Like, I was doing things. I was actively shitting. Man. Lovey says, the Mickey D's fucked me up. I don't know why I felt so nauseous. It did to me too. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't cook it thoroughly, but like, it wasn't bad. I don't know. Maybe it's because I had 3 instead of 2. I usually do 2 McDoubles instead of 3. I just felt hungry. But honestly, it was good because of the deals and stuff like that, but whatever. But let's talk about some shit, because this is definitely an episode. Don't listen to this episode while you're eating, or if you're hungry or thinking about eating food, because you are not going to like this one. So when I was a kid, let's go into story time. So when I was a kid, I don't remember exactly why or the reason for it, but I was constipated for the longest time. I think my sister scared me into doing it. I don't know. I wasn't very good at getting potty trained, and once I was, all of a sudden I think my sister scared me into not shitting for whatever reason. And it got to the point where my parents had to bring me to a doctor and basically get a colonoscopy and get all that shit out. And after that, I think soon after that, I didn't have any problems. But I still remember waiting. I remember that night kind of vividly. I think my grandparents were down for some reason. I don't remember why, though. But I do remember the day. I do remember it because we went to like a clinic. It wasn't like urgent, but it was at night though. It was weird. It was at night. And I want to say like 8, like it was late enough at night that it would have been near-ish to my bedtime, and Cartoon Network flipped over to Adult Swim. And at that time, that's when Futurama was playing. And I remember sitting in the waiting room, and it was playing, and it was like one of the few times I've watched it here and there when I was a kid. Young kid, but not a whole ton. But I just remember that very well. I'm not going to get too into the details about basically they shoved more or less a plunger needle or something up my butt, and essentially I vomited that crap out. Or I remember vomiting stuff out. So yeah, kind of reverse. It sucked. It actually sucked. Uh, it was not fun. I don't know how they did it. Honestly, I just remember them doing it. It was not fun. It sucked. And then I just remember getting like, I don't remember getting an x-ray, but I did get scanned though, which was weird because I don't remember it. Although it could have been in the same room. It wasn't in the same room. But like we went basically immediately from the waiting room into like one other, like the nearest room or whatever and then boom. I already got like, that's when they like stuck the basically plunger. I don't know what it was. I'll say it's a plunger up my butt to get it out. I know I didn't get an MRI. I know I did get an x-ray. Because like I just remember the image of it. I just remember that for whatever reason. But it doesn't stop there. The buck doesn't stop there. But even after that, like after I was constipated, done being constipated, I would just leave the most massive shits. Like absolute. It was surprising how crazy big some of the poops that I've had when I was a kid. I think the most infamous case that I've had was one time I don't remember how old I was or when it was. I want to say maybe I was in first grade. I woke up middle of the night, just like 3 a.m., like 2, 3, 4, like 3, 4 a.m. I can't remember exactly when. I go to the bathroom, me and my sister had our own bathroom, and I just, I poop. Like, I knew I had to poop, which is weird, because even when I was a kid, I also, troubles, I think with wetting the bed, actually I had control at that time. I had control by that time. I lost control for some reason. I don't know why, but then I gained that control back. I don't really know why. But I had it under control at this time, and I just remember waking up middle of the night, having to go to the bathroom. I poop. I turn around. I just knew. I just knew that thing would not go down. It was massive. Like low taper fade. This thing is not going to die massive. I'm just like, I knew like even as young as I was, I'm like, that is not going to flush. I don't want to wake anyone up for this. This is not worth it. It sucked. So I go back to bed. Wake up in the morning. And, it's all fine. Come to know that my mom spent about 20 minutes breaking it up. 20 whole solid minutes breaking it up. And to this day, she knows, like when I talk about that, she knows exactly what I'm saying. It was that, like, probably not the biggest shit I've ever taken, but it was like the most, even like she was impressed. Like it was that big. Like, and it's like that South Park episode with Randy taking a massive crap. It was kind of like that, but I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. Oh God, I just remembered a problem that we're having at work, and it's not our department. It has to be some other department, but we have we have bathrooms, in the back area where we are designated poop in, public bathrooms. we're having a problem with the kind of more private bathrooms that are in our basically the what's the easiest term to say it for like musical guests and acts, stuff like that. They're meant for them, only meant for them. And when no one's here, people can use them here and there, but they're meant for performers and artists and stuff like that come into our event space. But we've every time we've had a meeting, or every few times that we've had a meeting, I think now it's only happened once every 2 months, but it's always brought up in the meeting where it's like, oh, we got to make sure that we're not, dropping gross ones, or the worst thing is we think we know who's doing it. It's no one in our department, but they are shotgunning the shit and not cleaning it up, and then just waiting for EVS to clean it. It's like, dude, you're an ass. You are a literal asshole. Clean that shit up. I know the cafeteria food is bad, can rot our guts, but my God, it should not be that bad that you decide, oh, I'm going to use the bathroom in the way, and to get into the bathrooms from the back hallways, to get to these bathrooms that are the artists use, you have to go through a doorway with your badge. You have to be authorized to have that and be able to be in those areas. And then, you got to go into the bathroom, and the cameras can pick you up on that. I don't know actually if there's a camera in the hallway. There probably is. Obviously there's not cameras in the bathroom, because why? No. And there's not cameras. I want to say there's not cameras in the dressing room, because that would not be cool. But in the hallway, I'm pretty sure there is. But it's crazy because people they can see that and determine who's doing it, but they keep blaming it on us, even though we don't do it. But it's I remember one time walking into one of the bathrooms. I swear to God, I don't know how old it was, how long ago it was. It could have been a day. It could have been hours ago. It could have just happened. I walked in. It was the scene from Daddy Daycare where, I forget what the other dad's name. He was on freaking the Goldbergs, the father from the Goldbergs. I can't remember his name off the bat, but his kid in Daddy Daycare just had troubles pooping for some reason. He wouldn't poop, but when he would poop, it would be just it'd be kind of weird or dumb. But there's one scene where they basically force him to use the bathroom, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh, did you do it?" And he's like, "I missed." Well, what do you mean you missed? I missed. And then Eddie Murphy peeks his head slowly into the bathroom, and it's just looks down, and it's the Psycho theme is playing over it, and he's looking around the room. It's everywhere. That's basically what the bathroom looked like. It no joke, there was shit in places that I could not believe that this guy, whoever did it, either intentionally did it or had such bad problems that it was just gonna happen. And I feel at this point they have to be intentionally doing it. There's no way that they're accidentally doing it, because even with some of the options that are offered at the the cafeteria, and they're not always bad, but And I don't want to diss the food at my work's like cafeteria for the workers, but I feel sometimes it's uninspired, but other times it's like really, really freaking good. But it shouldn't be like I'm gonna literally blow up a toilet bad. I'm gonna, no joke, no cap, blow up a toilet bad. It should not be. It should not be bad. Oh man. I don't know. I just don't. Well, that's shit. You know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna say let's rip the band-aid off and open some magic packs, because this conversation is shit. Alright, we got 3 more packs of Tarkir Dragonstorm. I gotta be careful with how I open these, because I want to open a lot of them, because it's a fun and good set. I finally got one of the cards I was trying to get. I'm trying to make a transition from shit to magic is wild. Yes, it is. What if I transition back into shit? I was making one of the, so back to what I was saying. I'm making a deck, like a token deck, off of the God, what's the tribe? Mardu. Like a Mardu token deck. Oh man, it's one, like I have like way too many cards in deck, but it's too good to get rid of any of them. So it's like trying to kill, like pick your favorite child and kill the other one. Like, oh man, this sucks. And it's not like infinite combo bullshit. No, it's just fun stuff. And I still have to add cards to it too. So it's like, god damn it. I can't win. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Not much, I tell you that. We're gonna open up this one first, since it's being a little bit of a pushover. I got all the packs open. We got some commons. I'm just gonna skip through some of them. I honestly am glad that they went to just like, they put the commons first and then the uncommons, which is how you should do it. Do it in the right order. Like when you open the pack, I want to see the commons, not, I don't want to have to do a pack trick to figure this shit out. It's stupid. I hate it. So Mammoth Bellow, Traveling Botanist, Fleeting Effigy. Oh, we got Nature's Rhythm. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it into the battlefield, then shuffle, and then it's got Harmonized. So that's pretty good. That's actually very decent if you know what you're doing. And then for the foil, we got Watcher of the Wayside. And then we got a Dismal Backwater for the land. Gonna cut the gruff. Get to the uncommons. We got a Kumar and Initiate. We got an Abzan Monument. We got a Wingblade Disciple. Synchronized Charge. I almost thought I wasn't recording any of this. For the rare, we got a Surek, Elusive Hunter. It can't be countered, and it's got Trample. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Not too crazy. Honestly, not crazy, but not bad. And then for the foil, we got I'm not even going to try that name. And then we got a foil Swiftwater Cliffs. All right, nothing in those two. I mean, that rare was not bad, but was it? Debatable. And we got I'm going to actually see some of these. Piercing Exhale, Stormmelt Stag, Stormplane, Diplomacy, or Detainment. Diplomacy is not detainment. Oh man. Seize Opportunity, or Barely a Strike. Stormshriek Feral? Yes. We got an Attuned Hunter. Alright, now we're on the uncommons. 100 Battle Veteran. a furious forebearer. We're here. Oh, no, never mind. We got a teamer monument. The rare mythic. We got Winter Night Stories. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card, and then it's got Harmonize. So, not too nuts. Not too nuts. What is the foil? Wild Ride. And then Thornwood Falls, so not great packs. Damn. What else? Whatever. So you know how I said we transition from shit to shit? Shit to magic to shit? My microphone decided to attack me. It knew. It knew I wanted to talk more about poop. You know, no, I honestly don't want to talk about poop anymore because like there's been some stuff going on obviously, and I don't think I've really talked about just other things. So obviously, like new stuff. I already mentioned at the beginning, like the Pope passed away on Monday at like 7 a.m. So that's crazy. And then the all-female crew, that happened. Oh, I should mention the chili farts. That was a good one. So I might actually go back to shit. What else was it? Or what else happened? I mean, there's been a few things here and there, but not like I haven't been paying attention to the news recently in the past 3 weeks because my work, like I've been busy at work, so I haven't had my ear to the ground and trying to listen to things here and there. I think Coachella's like came and went. I'm trying. I was like scrolling through TikTok the other day, and I came across one by literally Benson Boone, and I haven't listened to his music. I'm gonna be flat out honest. I've like at this point I've only listened to a third of his album that he has, and like the whole thing about the whatever the TikTok was like, oh people go why do people hate my music, but not like give good reasoning for it. I'm like, I mean, I don't care for beautiful things, but it's like, that actually does raise a good question. And I have obviously like I have background doing music reviews and stuff like that, and you know, background with some music production stuff. I can't like get into the weeds and stuff like that as much as I would want to, but it's like I can piece it together, you know. And I don't want to read too deep into his background and stuff like that, but like I kind of got the vibe, and I think I know. I don't like. I gotta listen. I know. I feel like I gotta listen to more, but I feel I know why it is. And I typed it out and I made like a whole thing about it. So let me actually read it. I feel like his sound can only be described as, you know, that kid in middle school who knew how to do backflips and like made it their whole personality, but then they done it one too many times. It's that thing. Like they made it their whole thing, but it's like, okay, it's only entertaining so many times. It wants to sound original, but the way he wears his influences on his sleeves, because like I think like Queen is a big influence. I think maybe Brendan Urie, maybe some country in there. So like there's a lot of influences that I can definitely see that he is trying to replicate and do into his stuff. But because he's doing so many things at once, like so many spinning plates, it feels like he's wearing like one too many hats and he just looks stupid. It just doesn't work. It's like, if I'm being completely honest, like I feel like it's he's kind of like doing like if Jason Mraz was to recreate Queen as like a puzzle. Like it's like a puzzle, but the pieces don't fit just right. I mean, there's something there. There's something there. I just don't feel like he's at the point that he's found the sound that he wants. He's got the I feel like he has the talent to do it, but I don't think being that he only has one record out, one album out, it's not bad. Honestly, for a first album, like it's a 7 out of 10. But I feel like if he keeps making the music that's on that album, it's basically he's just gonna make up just coworker music, and it's not good. It's not great. It's not great music. I mean, the sound does work. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like some of the things in the production as well fights against the sound he wants to go for. Because if he's special, like if he wants to go like make Queen, have some like more piercing sounds. You don't want to have like bubbly, like boom, 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 boom. You want to have like the drums, and like some of the ones that I've listened to for the drums, it's like you have like boom, boom, boom. It's like, no, you should have like more like bah, bah, bah. Like they should be snappier. They should have like quick release, move like hard beats. And he does kind of try to do it, but the damage is already done. And yeah. Also, another thing, and I can't really say that if it's a trouble further on into the album, but all of its songs are like 3 minutes, and I feel like it takes way too long to get to like where he wants it to be in like the chorus, or like there's a transitional gap. Like say Beautiful Things, it takes a minute and 11 seconds or so to get to the it takes a long time to get to there. Like that's long. The song is only 3 minutes. Like, I mean, it's not like the longest song, but I feel like if he was to do, like, I feel like that song should be longer to warrant, it's taking a minute and 11-ish seconds or so to get to that point. Because it just doesn't work. And like, if you're going to like, I think in the next song, I can't remember what it's called, or one of the songs after that, he does a thing where it's like, stop the track, let's start it over again, but like better, like with a more hyped up beat. It's like, you can do that, but don't take a whole like minute to get to that. Get to like, this doesn't work. Like, I think if you were to half the time that he did to get to the idea that he wants to, like the main big idea of the song, or like the sound of the song, it would be so much better. Because yeah, like if you're gonna do like another one, it's like, have like an intro to your song, not just you singing. Like, again, like say Beautiful Things, you can have an intro. It doesn't need to be you singing. Like, it doesn't need to be that. Like, I don't want to glaze them, but like My Boys Ingredients, a lot of their songs, like I've just looked at, like when I was starting the episode, a lot of their songs takes a hot second to get to like when the vocals actually do kick in. It's fine if your main chorus takes a minute to get to. That's absolutely fine. But have something for the listener to stay on. Because you don't want to shift in the emotion too late into the song. It's like, okay, you've already wasted your 30, your impression time to get to what you wanted them to hear. Because they're not listening anymore. Also, another thing that I've noticed in the vocal, and in his vocalization. I think the most apparent version of this, and I hate to slam it, it's Beautiful Things again, is he does like in the beginning, he does like a gravelly like it's like it kind of sounds like you're doing like a Bob Dylan, something like that. And it's like like you can do that. You can do that. But then do like vocal gymnastics like it's like you can do that, but I don't think they should be in the same song. They don't work. It doesn't work. Or like physically in the same song. You could do it in two separate ones, but not in the same thing. Because it's like it sounds you're doing like a voice. And I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. In the chat it says you should listen to the Driver era, and if you like them you can come. Oh, honestly, I wouldn't mind going to the concert. Because like he doesn't seem like a bad dude, but it's just like the sound of it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it. I mean, honestly, it's not bad music. I've heard worse songs and music, and there's a lot. Honestly, guys, in this day and age in popular music, unless if you're already established and not hip hop, it's hard as shit to make it. Other than like to make it in pop for a guy nowadays, it's next to impossible. You either got to be a plug or rich as fuck. I don't really know what Benson is, but I don't know. Saying he has not a long career in music or known career in music, and he has a song in Twisters, which came out last year, that I feel like says something. I could be wrong. I don't mean to sound like a dick, but it's just like something's up there, you know? And I don't know the guy. Honestly, he sounds cool. He sounds like a decent guy. But also at the same time, it's like I'm trying to base it like constructive criticism, because like I've listened to a lot of stuff and it's not there. Like it's there, but it's not there. But like honestly, I've heard a lot worse stuff. Like, oh my god. Like stuff that people should stop making music. Ellie Goulding. Sia. Honestly though, Sia like does have okay music. It's just the fact that she does like, oh, empowering song, I can do anything, but she can't make music without being codependent on a kid that's my age. She's like 50 something at this point. Like, bitch, what? She's like 40, like late 40s. I don't know. It's like, huh? Excuse me? Yeah. I've watched way too much Dance Moms to know. Also, oh, another thing. Fucking JoJo. What the fuck off, JoJo. But I have nothing against that. She's always been one of those attention getters. Attention, like she's always been one of those attention hogs. Ever since she was on first was on the show. Her and her mother were massive attention hogs. And then they left, but then they were also in Australia, which was definitely a publicity stunt. I don't know what the hell was going on in there. But all the Dance Moms were in Australia. It's like, huh? For a season? That was weird. And then I feel like the show kind of ran its course by that point. And then I think Abby Lee had a lot of the stuff happen with her and with her family that it's like it was reasonable that the show had to just kind of end. At least, hey, Abby Lee Miller still kicking, still having a good time. And that's a good thing. And it's not bad to have, because like she is a tough teacher. She like, oh, I had a. It's not bad. It sucks to have a tough instructor. It sucks, but it's never bad to have one. You want someone that is not only looking out for you, but is willing to give you tough criticisms, push you to be the best you that you can be. It's never bad to have that in your life. You don't want them to take over and, be too critical of that. But which she definitely at some points was, at least in the show, but you want someone that wants the best for you, and you want to, things like that. And it's like for music, you want to get one of the best things, one of the funniest things that when I was looking around at colleges and one of the music professors that was at this like college fair that for MSU Moorhead said the best thing that you can get is an old crotchety piano teacher. And I'm like, no shot. No shot. I already have one of those. And to be frank, I was probably I'm going to be a flat honest. I was the last student that she had. There was like maybe one or two others, but I was the last. Two others that were definitely younger, at least. But I was not outside of her family. I was definitely the last. Because there were a few that just, they weren't going to make it. They weren't going to make it. That's stuff I don't want to get into. But, yeah. And like a lot of the things that I'm saying, going back to the original topic for like Benson Boone, is like the sound is there. He has the talent. I think the spectacle's all right, but you want to make sure you're putting you want to make sure that you're like putting what's the fucking term? Like putting something behind it. You have a sound, you have something that actually makes sense, because like a lot of the stuff that I've heard just sounds the same and it's trying to be different. Like there's different sounds within the songs, but like I could not tell you a single song from another one except for Beautiful Things, just solely because it was the one that's been played the most on the radio. And it's what's the right term? Not publicized, or it's like promoted as a single from the album, and it just doesn't feel like it makes sense. I mean, it's different, but it's not. Also, like again, the songlings were all the same, which was scary. But I know it gets like longer later on in the album, but like all of them are like, I feel like are in like within 10 seconds of each other, which is kind of odd. I mean, that's not bad, but like also like 16 songs and they're pretty damn close to each other. That's spread. Yeah, that's to me, that seems a little. You can venture off. You can combine some songs, make some ideas come together. Shorten the album, 53 minutes. That's a decent length of an album, but it's also stupid long. That isn't to say that longer albums haven't been out, but yeah, for that. But again, I still have to listen to a lot more of his stuff and understand how. And it's trying to read into the lyrics is hard. I've never been that kind of like comprehensive fucking thing. I've had the most infamous bullshit in my life having to read stuff. Okay. Here's a actual fumble I had in middle school. So this. So for a paper, we had to pick a song and talk about what it means, or the symbolism or whatever. Go into the lyrics and whatever, blah 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 blah. I chose up Pumped Up Kicks, and I didn't know at the time that it was about a school shooting. Man, was there egg on my face when I was pretty much done with the paper. My sister's like, you do know that it's about a school shooting. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucked. And then the following year is where I have my one that I think I've already talked about. But during the Monkey's Paw, right before the third wish, our teacher said, pay attention. This is what your paper's going to be about, what the third wish is going to be on. So before the second wish was made, it's like, pay attention. From here on out, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to know what the third wish is going to be. And then the second wish, like, oh, I wish our son was back. It's like, immediately, what I thought was the Monkey's Paw brought her son back, but because they were in India, a decent leap would have been like, the literal sentence, I think, after it said, like, the finger folded, a rat or a mouse like kind of scurried up onto the table or whatever nearby. It's like, that's her son, because he got reincarnated. Because they're in India, that makes sense with the logic of whatever with Hinduism and all that stuff like there. Sure shit wasn't the fucking thing. Apparently, I was wrong. And I thought the third wish was she couldn't deal with the fact that she killed her son. Or she had the wish, to get rich, and the first wish was them to get rich, and they got a lot of money of an insurance claim because their son got killed in an automobile accident. So I thought the third wish was to kill herself because she couldn't live with the fact that even though she technically didn't do it, she's the one that killed her son, and the people knocking at the door were like people trying to investigate. Or something to that effect. But no, it was her dead son. Her zombified son. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, logically, like, it could, but like, why would it revive the dead when the rules and what it seemed like the rules of the Monkey's Paw would to be of, not, it's magic, but it's not like, oh, bring back the dead magic. The way that they were kind of magic. It's like, Also the fact that she also made the wish before she opened the door too. That's also another thing. It's like, okay. And then she cried. It's like, yeah. After she made the third wish, no. I feel like, in retrospect, I feel like I'm more validated on that fucking one. It's a fumble. I kind of get it. But also at the same time, it's like, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. To re-kill her son, it's like, no. Like, it makes sense. But no. It didn't say that she opened the door, her dead son fell into her fucking arms. No. She opened the door and then slumped down. No, I don't even think she opened the door. She just slumped down and like kind of cried and like screamed or something like that. That could mean that she died. Or she wanted to kill herself. I don't fucking know. So, don't take him for I'm a horrible reading to comprehension. Fuck. Like, that's why I had to read Dune in an audiobook. Cause fuck, man. I can't, like, not to say that I don't have time to read. I just don't have time to read. Like I need time to isolate myself from reading. Like reading for me, I have to like basically put blinders, earplugs to make sure that I am reading, and not like too much to where like I'm only focused on the book, but like I left to like give myself awareness of what's going on. So anyways, yeah. I thought I had. Oh yeah, the chili. You know what? And let's end this. Let's end it with a chili story. The aforementioned chili story that I should have came back with. So, started with shit, ended with shit. So last time we went to, it wasn't the last time we went to Fargo. I think it was one of the. Oh, I think it was one of the first times me and my girlfriend went to Fargo. We went to one of the locations that actually it's probably the first time we went to Fargo. Yeah, it was the first time we went to Fargo. We went to this local place called Carl's Diner. If you know, you know. I don't know if it's still there. Honestly, it could be gone. It could be there. I hope it's still there. They have some amazing shakes. Like they give you the like that silver thing when you have like get it mixed. They give you the whole fucking thing. It's like maybe $5, like $6. They probably. I hope they raise the prices because it was kind of cheap for what you get. And there were days that you get. There's like specials for it as well. So it's like for the price that they're giving it, it's cheap as fuck, and they're good shakes too. But we both got shakes, and then we were hungry, but we weren't like whole meal hungry. So we got a plate of chili fries. And of course it's chili fry. It's chili, and chili gives you gas sometimes because of the beans or whatever. We get back to the hotel, and the combo of dairy, because some people, whatever. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but you get to a certain point where it's like, oh yeah, you definitely are having some problems, from the lactose or whatever. And it got to the point, but it was enough, that those two things came together in a perfect storm and just gave me the most absolute diabolical, pants shitting, just like, even though there wasn't any marks or like I actually, pooped myself, I'm surprised I didn't. It was vile. It was like mustard gas. It would make Auschwitz look like a fucking field day. It was actual just nasty in there. Skunks go in there to die kind of stink. It was not good. It was not a nice place to be in. And I couldn't avoid it too. Like I didn't have to go to the bathroom either. So like I went to the bathroom to take a dump, just like expecting like, oh, maybe it's because I have to go to the bathroom. Nothing. It was one of those days where it's like, oh, you go to the bathroom thinking that you have to take a poop. Nah. But then you get out. It's like gas. It was one of those. Oh man, I'm pretty certain that I have told that story before, but yeah, I mean that's some shit. Let's wrap it up for the night. So again, if you want to watch this live, go to twitch.tv/MentalAlertOriginal, where you can not only watch this live and midnight thing, but you can also watch the after show. You can watch this unedited for up to 2 weeks. When it's up there, it's up there. But once it's gone, it's gone. But I have every single episode on YouTube. Every single episode since 100 on Spotify. And when I used to do this as a radio show was also on Spotify. And those air on like premiere, quote unquote, on the 5th anniversary of each episode. And I scheduled for the midnight one. So it's another midnight release kind of thing. So or late Central Time. So yeah. Thank you to Grains for the use of their song You Sweat off the album The Call. Their next album comes out tomorrow. Come what may, comes out tomorrow. They are doing 2 concerts. Both of them are up in Fargo for their, release weekend. I wish I could go if I didn't have to work. I would definitely go to them. And get their album, but I can't. I might honestly check if I can get their album early because I know where they live. But they're good pals and stuff like that, and obviously stuff like that. But the one that if you were listening to the stream, the last and full song that you heard was their last single off the album before it comes out tomorrow. If you look at, it's called shit On a Roll, and if you look at the icon for the single of it, it's lead singer Darian in a boxing ring, and he's jumping. You look a little lower. Look at the shoes, a little in the back. That's also in the ring, and there's a referee in the back. That's me. Yep, that's me. I'm in the music video. So when that comes out, and apparently it's gonna be this summer. I can't remember when. Just be ready for that. And honestly, it's a banger song. I wouldn't say it's their best from the album. Actually, it's probably on the top side, higher end for me on the album. If I'm being completely honest, it's on their higher end. I wouldn't say. I'd have to look at them again. I'm not gonna say it's the best. I think sometimes. I think it might be Sometimes I'm thinking of. Might be Sometimes. I can't remember. But one of them was shoot. No, it's not Sometimes. Jesus Christ, I can't remember off the bat. But I think one of them is just slightly above. But I think On a Roll is crazy good. I think it's very... compared to their old stuff, I don't want to play their music accidentally before, the end of the album or before the end of the show. But let me go to Gradients real quick. I feel like it's kind of similar. There's Def was not Tyranny. Get it. Oh yeah, it's kind of similar to Get It Right, or yeah, it is similar to, or Get Your Act Together. It's kind of on that vibe where it's the one that comes to my mind when I hear it is for On a Roll or whatever. It sounds like Aerosmith. I don't know why. Just because it's very fast, it's very front forward, it wants to move, it wants to go. And honestly, I like it. It's a very good track. I am excited for when it comes out as a music video. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good one. It's got a storyline and plot to it. It's good. It's gonna be fun. And honestly, just quick anecdote behind that too. I was I just got off work that day, and they were asking for people who wants to be in the music video, whatever. And I'm here, come to this boxing gym, and I was okay, I'll be there, whatever, blah 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 blah. And it was a fun night. It was fun. It was on a Saturday. We ended up going back to their house, and we got a bunch of Chinese food, and we got drunk. Had to wake up. I basically slept on their couch, and went to church literally hours later because of when I woke up. Everything was right as rain. It was fun. It was a fun weekend. Hope to party with them again soon, because yeah. But that's enough of that. Thank you guys for listening, watching, doing what you're doing, all this stuff. As I look at the time right now, shit, it's not midnight here anymore, but it is midnight somewhere else. But something. But crud. It's midnight somewhere else, but until it becomes midnight here once again, I will see you later. There it is. Words. But I was about to. I honestly, honest to God, thought I was going to press the wrong button. Bye.
But now I'm used to it.